Hello, 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 friends, and welcome to the Dance Break, aka IHKC Live. My name is Lauren Conaway, and I'm the founder and CEO of InnovateHER KC. We are a leadership community for women and gender minorities across the Kansas City metro. We have a lens on low barrier to entry and inclusion, and we offer professional development, social connection, mentorship, championship, resources, all of those things that Women Plus professionals need to thrive. For IHKC Live today, Cynthia Fails, who you're going to see in just a moment. She and I were talking, we were trying to decide what we wanted the theme of this show to be. And we decided that we wanted to talk about self-care. I think we can all agree that no matter our motives and our thinking, it's a stressful time, and the holidays are about to be upon us, and we're all prepping for that and managing family and work and all of those competing demands on our time. And here's the thing, y'all, it's tough, and you have to carve out time for self-care, which is why I am absolutely honored to have with us today Joy Broils. Many of you probably know Joy. She is an extraordinary advocate in the Kansas City community, is all in for women, which of course we love at InnovateHER KC. And she is the founder of Hustle and Ground, which is a really, really innovative, fun kind of self-care subscription service that we'll talk about. But also, I feel like Hustle and Ground is kind of a way of life, and we're going to talk about that too. So first things first, I am going to ask Cynthia Fails. I told you would meet her later. Cynthia Fails, hi, how are you, friend?
Hey, good, how are you?
You know what? I am.
Yeah,
There you go. That's my
I
response to that
I
question.
understand. I would have said the same thing this morning had I not had a chat with 100 fourth, fifth, and sixth graders. So that really changed
Ooh,
a lot in my life. They added so much light. So
paradigm shift, but you feel
yeah,
faith and
absolutely.
belief in the future.
Great reminder. Great reminder.
All right. Well, I love that. And to be fair, we had an IHKC monthly meetup this morning at Cafe Corazon. And hey, plug. So we have all heard about the smash and grabs happening recently. Cynthia, you've heard about this.
Yeah.
Well, Cafe and Cafe Corazon were both victims. I think Cafe was just straight up hate crime vandalism.
hmm
Way to go. So we're gonna ask you, friends, shop local, pop in, buy some coffee, buy some merch. Let's support. It's a really, really tough thing being a small business owner, and you certainly don't need the added headache. So let's help out where we can. Cynthia,
Yes.
are you ready? I'm
I
sorry, I always get
am.
so nervous.
Do you?
I
I'm
do.
ready.
I know what's coming. All right, you
But you
ready?
don't know what's
You want to bring up Joy questions?
Yeah, let's bring her in. Let's bring her in.
Hey
Hey,
everyone,
Joy.
how are
Joy.
you?
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you. I'm excited and nervous about these questions.
Same, same.
I promise I'm not going to ask you anything about your teeth today.
Oh,
All right, 3 quick, quirky questions. Are we ready?
Yep.
yes.
Okay. Just first thing that comes to mind, don't overthink it. Just blurt it out. Lauren, you're already overthinking it. I haven't even asked the question yet. All right, the first question. First question out of 3. If you had a pet parrot, what would you teach it to say?
Ah.
Oh, I would teach the parrot to say you're the boss, because that's what I tell my daughter who's 19. She's the
Oh,
boss. And I've actually started, so she's at KU as a freshman, and she'll have me on speaker, and I'll tell all of her friends, because I don't know what they were raised to believe. You're a boss, period.
Yeah.
And that's what I always tell her. So the parrot would be like, you're a boss.
I like that.
Okay.
Yep.
You're a boss.
Yep.
That was like my parrot voice. I don't know how that was.
That's pretty good.
I don't know that I've ever tried that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a really great answer. I have zero faith that I think that I would have the best of intentions, and I think that I would accidentally teach my parrot to say the F word.
Yeah. I can already see that. That's happening.
I wanted to be off my mind.
I would teach mine to say. I would totally teach mine to say no, thank you, only when I look at it and point. That way, I don't have to say it. I can just look at the parrot and let the parrot say it for me. No, thank you. All right.
The parrot is setting boundaries.
Absolutely, because I've already tried. By the time I get to the parrot, I've already tried. So.
Okay.
The parrot is reinforcement.
I dig it. You need a little bit of backup in avian form.
There it is. Okay. Quirky question number 2. Are we ready?
Go.
Have you ever made a prank phone call before?
I feel like you need to go first.
Yeah, like, to be honest, I don't actually have a remarkable story here. Like, when I was a teenager, I absolutely did. I to be honest, I don't even remember what we did. I do remember prank phone calls. I don't think they were mean. I don't know. But yes, I am confident because like I have this image in my head of just like on a phone giggling with I think my friend Rachel actually over my shoulder. So yes, but I don't really remember many of the specifics.
Interesting.
Sorry, I keep going off camera. I've got Anna's here. Anna needs pets, so apparently that's today.
I know it is. No. We say no more.
Yeah. No, she's adorable. But she's also 85 pounds, and she found the dog treats that are in my inventory. So
no.
I was about to ask cat or dog, and then you said 85 pounds, and I was like, so dog.
She's hopefully not a cat.
Yeah, she's a cat, right. So I was super shy when I was a teenager, and I didn't even want to talk to like the Domino's delivery person to ask for pizza. So I did not make prank calls. So I was like, see, back then we didn't have you couldn't text and order online. We didn't have any of that. So yeah.
Now you can go. I mean, you could go if you really wanted to. You could go months without interacting with another human being.
You really could.
You absolutely could.
You really could.
I call that peopling. I'm not peopling today.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Wait. Yeah. The answer is yes. This one time when I was in high school, it was late at night, and KCPT, the local PBS station here in Kansas City, had their telethon, and they were like, give us a call, and nobody's calling, like none of the phones are ringing. And I was like, does the number even work? So I picked the phone up and I dialed the number and the phone rang, and I was like, uh-oh. Like I hung the phone up really quickly. I was testing it, but it ended up looking like
so I just
ended up looking like a prank call.
When you were a kid, you low-key harassed volunteers. You accidentally harassed volunteers at a telethon.
It was not intentional. I wasn't sure if the phone was working because he said call and the phones weren't ringing. So I was like, let's test the number. But all right. Final quirky question. We're going to make this a quick one. This is a polarizing one.
Oh, God. You're going to ask me about barbecue, aren't you?
No, winter holidays. Do you celebrate winter holidays after Thanksgiving or after Halloween? When do you start your celebration?
So, especially this year, I was longing for Christmas music and those toy ads for Target, and like, please bring that stuff, after Halloween. And so Ashley's a Halloween birthday, and her idea is we can't skip Thanksgiving. So, we have Halloween. It's become this huge holiday. Can't skip over Thanksgiving and go straight to Christmas. So we can't decorate until the day after Thanksgiving, according to her. Yes.
I mean, there is a method to the madness. Like, she has very, very clear Understand, like she knows what she's asking and she knows why.
Yes.
Respect. Yeah. So if I were a more organized person, I think I would probably celebrate the holidays earlier than I do, but it's more of I look up and I'm like, oh shit, it's December 15th. I guess we should put the tree up. So I am not the target audience for this question.
I am a full celebrate it when you feel it. Sometimes it's September,
Yeah.
sometimes it's October, sometimes it's December, sometimes it's November. It's just when it feels it, when you feel
It's just
it. But
whatever you're vibing with.
yeah, whatever you're vibing with. Jennifer
Halloween.
said Halloween is a winter holiday. That is the beginning of the holidays.
Halloween is the best holiday.
Right?
That's the polarizing statement.
I love it. I love it. Well, you all are going to talk a little bit about the holidays and the added stress, and I'm going to exit so that you can have this important chat for everybody. Sound good?
We'll miss you.
In a minute.
All right. I'll pop back in towards the end. See ya.
All right. See you soon. Joy Broils, how are you today?
Good. I am doing better than last week. So I count that as a win.
Same. It's all relative at this point. It's kind of a sliding scale of contented to depths of despair. Well, so let's go ahead and pull on that thread a little bit.
Yeah.
We are coming up into a stressful moment in time, a stressful time of the year, a stressful time of life. And so talk us through how are you stress wise these days?
Oh, so I will say it's 2024 has been a growth year for Hustle and Ground, which means added hustle. It's been a lot of hustle. And so there's been stressful times throughout the year. I can't tell you how many conferences I've been to. I have a pile of badges that I'm either proud of or I think mostly proud of. But it also reminds me of how much I've been gone. So definitely stress. But that's kind of why the company is named what it is. The hustle part, we all know hustle. We all hustle sometimes more than we should. But what we don't do is we don't take that ground and take that time. So the ground part can be several. It can be literally walking around outside in your bare feet to feel that ground. Mm-hmm. She's not getting in trouble. Sorry. My coworker is, she's being okay. So some of it is taking that time and just being out in nature, but then it's also honoring your pause and finding what your pause is. And when I started thinking about my pause, when I was, I had to take some time a couple of years ago just to get better. And, what do you, as a type A, always on the hustle person, what do you do if you don't know what your pause is? And you're faced with that, I have to pause now. What do you do?
So hold on just a second, because I want to back it up just a little bit, because I feel like you founded a company built on this foundation, like that there is an ebb and flow. And like you even just said it, like you're in a growth year, so that means more hustle.
Yep.
But really what you're helping people access the ground piece, right? So talk to us a little bit about Hustle and Ground. I want to get granular, and then we're going to move it back up.
Sure. So we actually pivoted a little bit this year in January, and shout out to all of the entrepreneurs who pivot, because that's okay, right? It's okay. So I was having a conversation with an entrepreneur, and she was looking at having to give up her retail space and go online. And that was hard. She said it felt like failure, and it's not. It is pivoting for the betterment of the company. And so we pivoted in January and went from a B2C company, which was working on the consumer market, all the way to a B2B company. And so we work almost exclusively with companies to do their gifting. And it was a pivot that I knew was coming, because most of 2023, I kept having people come up and say, hey, do you do this for companies? And I was like, yeah, we're starting to think about that. So hearing that enough, I have to honor where my clients are wanting me to be. So that pivot actually caused a lot more hustle, a lot more, going to
Because
different.
now you're dealing in volume typically,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what we do, we work with over 100 small businesses all over the country. A lot of them are here in Kansas City. Shout out to the Kansas City people. But we work with over 100 small businesses and take their products and we put them into our themed gift boxes. So we may have a client who says, okay, we want to do, this mix of Stroopy waffles in our boxes. Great. So, we order from Lancaster and get their Stroopy mixes. And then they might want to do marshmallows from a place that's in Minnesota. So we order theirs.
Yeah. Well, so you just partnered with Shop Local KC, Katie Mabry Van Deeren. She's on our leadership team, right? You released an Empower box, right? Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we actually worked with KC Black Owned with Dr. Chelsea.
And okay. Sorry.
No, that's okay. She's awesome. If you haven't met Dr. Chelsea, she's awesome. And we actually met almost a year ago at a supplier diversity event. And she said, hey, would you ever be interested in doing a box with Black owned businesses? Absolutely. So we did. It took us a little while, but perseverance is really the name of the game when you're trying to do something important. And so so we did that. She found she had sent out a Google form to some of the businesses that are involved with KC Black Owned. I had a couple of businesses that I already worked with, and we got to the end, and it took a little bit more time because I ended up having major surgery in April, so that delayed me a little bit. But then we have a really cool Empower Her box. Proud to say it's all Black owned, but it's all women owned as well, which it did not start out to be that way, but it is a really cool box.
But I mean, how can you not? Women owned business is awesome. Right.
No offense
so you have all of this exciting growth and you have all of these amazing things that you're doing. And I'm really, really curious. How does joy get grounded?
So I found what I like to do to pause. And that took me literally having to stop because I couldn't keep going and I had to stop and heal. And once I did that, I was like, okay, I like to bake. I like to have facials.
Yes, you do. You brought me homemade chocolate cupcakes for my birthday.
I did. You remember that?
And they were magnificent. And I'm still I'm just like, oh, so fun. Like that was so sweet, so kind.
You have to find what you like to do to pause. And it's not necessarily, everybody was always telling me, do yoga. I don't like yoga. So many people love yoga as their pause. And I love that for them. It is not my pause because I sit in a warrior position and they're like, clear your mind. My mind's like, what do you need for dinner? My mind is like absolutely against clearing.
I think that the practice of yoga is supposed to help mitigate that, but samesies, girl, I get it. I also have difficulty with the meditative state, so I feel you. But I'm like, that's rather the point.
Somebody said you just have to keep practicing. I'm like, okay, I got it. But what I love is everybody has their own way of pausing. So I always think about this. So okay, you've had a super stressful week. Take like this week, for example, and you do your pause, whatever you've decided is is a pause that you relate to, that helps you.
Yeah.
You do your pause and then you get out on the other side of that activity. Are you feeling better? Like check in with yourself. Are you feeling better? Are you feeling less stressed? Are you feeling more grounded? That is your pause activity. If you resonate with that, it can be cleaning. I've had people say, I pause by cleaning. Great. I think that's awesome. If it makes you feel better, that's your pause. And no one has the right to tell you that it's a stupid pause.
Yeah. Incidentally, sometimes often this is like very gendered. I don't know. I feel like it is that, meh, but I do feel it like they're chicklet, you know, like what? Who cares? Drink your pumpkin spice lattes, read your chicklet, and do it with pride, and do it with our 100% support. You do you, babes.
Yes.
So I like, as you're talking, I really appreciate the concept of the pause. I do think I'm gonna just kind of make something up on the fly here, but I think one of the things that we as adults need to do, just like, and it kind of speaks to that discomfort thing a little bit, but we need to try different methods to pause, but we need to like continuously do that, because I feel like sometimes I get into a rut where I'm just like, well, this works, you know, like if it's a bubble bath or what have you, and I'm like, you're resign yourself to the fact that not all of them are going to work for you, but like try a coloring night, you know. I tried beading jewelry and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. But yeah, just like don't be afraid to try new things, like discover new ways to pause. There you go.
Yep. I like taking cooking classes. I think that's fun, you know. And so what I would encourage everybody to do is make a list. Like, you're either old school, like, you know, pen and paper, or you're, you know, using your phone notes, but just put a list together of what you know you like to do to pause, and then put a wish list of it would be good to try. And then just maybe that's your bucket list pause. And some of them might work and some of them might not work. And some of them you might have to try a couple of times to get it to work. But no one has the right to tell you that's a stupid pause. I had a lady once that she said her husband would come super stressed. He'd come home from work and they went to like a Comic-Con, you know, like and he would get dressed up in whatever his character was. And she said he would come back after that weekend and he would be a totally different person. That's an awesome pause. That works for him, right? And so, like, it's not anybody's business to be like, well, that's not really a pause, or that's, you know, that's stupid, or anything like that, because it's working for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so let's say you found your pause. Like you have sat down, you made a list, you tried new things, you figured out the thing that works for you.
Yeah.
So what next? Like, I guess one of the things that I'm super nervous about coming up, like we're going into Global Entrepreneurship Week, more on that later. And we're going into the holidays, and we're going to an inordinately stressful time, politically, sociologically, all of those fun things. And so how are you carving out those pauses? How are you, like, let's talk a little bit about making that time, making that happen.
You have to. So I know that even though we are we gift all year long, we have clients all year long, I know that the November and December, especially with Thanksgiving being so late, are crazy. They're crazy. And that's just, you know, I accept that. So back in September, like I said, I like to, my pause is having a facial. So I scheduled a facial for like November 7th. I knew I was going to schedule it far enough in advance, and I protect that time. It goes on my calendar, and I treat it like it is a life-saving doctor's appointment.
Sacred, yeah.
Yes, it's sacred. So I had a client who invited me to a networking event on that same day, and I was like, I really want to go to this. So how do I do this? Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the networking event when it starts, and I'm going to leave at, you know, a half an hour in. And that's what I did. And I didn't miss the networking event, which I was glad, but I also kept the appointment. I did not reschedule it, because you have to, if you're setting an appointment and setting that time aside for yourself, and you cancel it, what does that say to you? You know, like, you have to
broke a promise to yourself.
Yes. And you have to be important enough to know that you need that time.
Right. Yeah. And I guess, like, I feel like, all right, I'm going to get very philosophical here.
That's okay.
Come on a journey with me, friends. So I worry that the people of differentiated gender experience, women and gender minorities, I feel like we have a lot of external pressure placed on us. Like there's a lot of expectation, there's a lot of biases, there's all of these things. And we tend to not be wonderful about like setting those boundaries. Like we feel guilty, or we feel martyred. Even we feel like there is some perverse kind of benefit in, as a woman, feeling this way, acting this way. Like think about when people compliment women, so often it's, she's so selfless, she does everything for everyone else, and I'm like, that's not the goal. Like you're aware that that's not the goal, right?
Yeah.
So talk me through that a little bit. Like, have you ever felt conflicted about carving out that time, and what kind of self-talk helps you through that?
Yeah. So I have been burnt out before. So when I very first started my career, I was a commercial real estate attorney in Atlanta. Worked at a very large Southern good old boys network law firm. And
Sounds like fun.
would, right. It was awesome. It was great for some people. It wasn't the best place for me, but I would, towards the end, I would actually go in. I would go into work and I would be crying because I hated that place so much. And so I know what burnout is, and I know I'm no good to anybody if I'm burnt out. I have 3 kids. I have, Ashley, who's a freshman in college, and I've got 14 and 15-year-old boys who are freshmen and sophomore in high school. And I have a husband who is crazy busy at work. I can't be good to anyone, including myself, if I let myself get burnt out. It's kind of like when you're on a plane and they tell you to put the oxygen mask on yourself first. And I always was like, I can't help anybody if I put it on myself first, but I actually can, because I'm making sure I'm okay. I'm making sure my tank is full, and then I can be a better fill in the blank, whatever role you hold, mom, daughter, coworker, wife. I mean, like, I can be better at that if I'm taking care of myself first.
Sure.
So it's really
even more service. It's a it's like a perpetuating cycle.
Yes, but it I like the things that what are you doing? Come here. You guys, good grief. Yes, I know. And I can be a better puppy mom, if I'm taking care of myself.
And you gotta be an excellent mom to those puppies,
That's
what it's all about.
Oh, she's huge. I can't get her to come up here, but she's a big girl. But I want to be, because I know what burnout feels like, and I know to this day I still can't stand that law firm, and I know I let it go too far because I wasn't taking that time to make sure I was okay mentally. I think the generation that's coming up, this Gen Z and whatever the next generation is, I think they do a better job at self-care, because they're like, I'll never forget, Ashley would be like, Mom, I need a self-care day. And I was like, I wish all of us would say, you know what, I need a self-care day.
Yeah.
And let that be, and not, not pile it on with other things. Well, this is my self-care day that I set aside for me, but I'm putting all of this other stuff in there. That's not self-care. You gotta make sure you're taking it, and you have to give yourself permission.
Yeah. I totally I took a self-care day last week. You get one guess as to what day. But I took a self-care day, and I was just like, you know what? I am not in the shape to be of service to anyone today. I am not fit for human consumption. And that needs to be okay. Today I wallow. But I think that there needs to be a limit on it.
Yes.
Like, I always put a limit on my wallowing. Like, okay, you had a shit Friday, so you're gonna wallow. You get until Sunday at 11 a.m. and then you're back into it. That's when you gotta go through the laundry. Like, get your life together.
Yeah. And you gotta get your plan together. Yep.
Yeah. But enjoy the wallowing, because you earned it.
Yes. Yeah. And it's okay to take that time, and because I know the people who aren't taking time and really need it. That's one of the things that we do. The reason we do gift boxes for many reasons, but part of it is I've seen people who receive like an Amazon gift card. Amazon gift cards are awesome. Love Amazon, but you know what it is. I know.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I can't control my face. Go
But
ahead.
you get this gift card, and you know what it is. There's no surprise. There's no like, what is this? Oh, this is so cool. You literally take it and you put it away. And what I love about watching somebody open up a Hustle and Ground box, they take each thing out of the box. Oh my gosh, what is this? What is this? Oh, this is really cool. Where did this come from? That's pause. That whole time that they're checking everything out, and they're not just receiving a gift and pushing it aside in like a matter of seconds. They're actually looking through it. And then how fast do they open up, those caramels or, things like that. So a part of it is that pause.
Yeah. Well, and so I've actually kind of seen it in action. I got you remember this. I got a Hustle and Ground self-care box. Like, I don't remember exactly what it was called, but it was one of like the self-care calm boxes.
Yeah.
For a friend who was going through like a super, super significant health problem. And I just, it's artfully presented and like really, really well curated. And like, I just knew, like, I dropped it on her front porch because, I don't need maintenance I need nothing from you. I just need to give to you. Yes. But so I just dropped it on the porch, and I was just imagining like the pampering, and like my hope is that she was able to turn, this really well curated box. I hope and I believe that she was able to turn it into an affirming, positive experience when she was sorely in need of it, and so, like, I deeply appreciate that. Well, so we're going to bring Cynthia up here in just a few minutes to continue the conversation. But if you, as a kind of self-care expert, if you could give one piece of advice to the folks who are playing at home, and incidentally, friends, do not hesitate to pop your comments, your questions in the chat there. Cynthia's been throwing them up on the wall. But yeah, let's make this an interactive experience. Let's engage. But if you could give one piece of advice to our audience, what would that be? What do you wish more people knew about self-care?
I wish that they would give themselves permission.
Yeah.
There is something about, we can tell everybody else to take that self-care.
Yeah.
It is hard to give ourselves permission. And I really do call it permission, because it's like, oh, you should do this for yourself. Oh, you should do this. And they're not looking at themselves and saying, you need to do this. So give yourself permission and start making your appointments now. Like, literally, when you get off the live, go and figure out what you want to do to pause. If it's a massage, or it's a manicure, or it's a facial, or it's paintball. I mean, go find a paintball place or laser tag or something, and you just make those appointments. Cooking class, whatever it is that you like. Make those appointments now and keep them. Do not, there's nothing important enough.
Don't break promises to yourself.
Right? Yes, don't, because it will help so much. It will help so much to get those appointments done and keep them. Yeah. You will thank yourself. Give yourself a hug.
Yeah. Did you see that? So I'm going to go ahead and assume that was Lisa of Safely Delicious. Thank you, Joy, for creating these amazing boxes. We are so grateful to have our snacks included in your Hustle and Grind. And see, that speaks to the quality of the boxes, because I got to tell you, Safely Delicious snack food that is free from the top. Lisa, is it top 13 allergens? Is that right? But free from just a crap ton of allergens, and they're still freaking delicious. Like the chocolate ones, or like the Mahomes like Chiefs ones that they have, they're so good. Top 11. Okay, I was kind of close. My bad, but still delicious. Ooh, and Kelsey comes in with chiropractor every Wednesday. Yes, I think that would be my self-care. Just crack me wide open.
Yes. Yeah. Bora Bora sounds good.
Yeah, that would be excellent self-care.
Do that, Jennifer, and then take pictures and show us.
Yeah. KC style, that's what they are. They're so good. You know what else is so good, Joy? Cynthia Fails. Hi, Cynthia.
Yay.
And
How you
this
doing, babe?
conversation, this should probably be like once a month, and then we do an extra like IHKC live because it's so rich with. I mean, I was watching the comments and I was watching people adding in their bucket list items and what they do to pause and what they want to do to pause, and I was getting all kind of ideas for myself. So I hope this is resonating with everyone who is tapping in and watching, whether they're watching live or on the replay today.
Yeah. Well, and you just threw it up. Thank you, Cynthia. But I appreciate Max's advice. I mean, sometimes like even a glimpse of a pause, like it can help, take a couple breaths, calm down, get to that meditative state that so eludes Joy and I.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And Ruth came in with exercise.
that.
Well, so
Cool.
we have been joined by Cynthia Fails, and
Mhm.
we have been talking with Joy Broils. And one of the things that we wanted to kind of chat about is, hey, Joy and Cynthia, I feel like you have some pretty exciting news about something that's maybe coming up next week.
What? We
Have
do.
any idea what I just heard?
Yeah, possibly. Joy, do you know?
I might know.
Oh my God. Okay, seriously. Hey, what do you got going on for GEW, babes?
Well, listen, on Tuesday, I'm going to shout out my session and Max's session as well. They have us going head to head on Tuesday at 9:45. I am chatting. My session is called Author and Entrepreneur, Write a book to build your business. And it is so good. I can't wait to share this with people. And then Max is talking about crafting a compelling story and coming up with marketing that people remember. So if either of those sound like your jam, feel free to tap into one or both. You can hop between it. It's okay. And Joy, you and Lauren have something coming up too, don't you?
We do. I'm talking on capability statements on Thursday at 2:45 to 3:45. And what I'm excited about, I want it to be super interactive because I didn't know what a CAPE statement was. When I first started my business and I went to this conference and my roommate said, "Do you have your CAPE statement?" I'm like, "I don't know what that is." So it's basically a resume for your business. And we're going to have a whole interactive, what does your business look like? What are your differentiators? All these things and how to create a capability statement.
Yeah. Hey, Joy, you just reminded me of a soapbox of mine, and I'm like, I haven't found an appropriate vehicle to share this out just yet. But hey, friends, in marketing, a differentiator has to be something compelling. I cannot tell you how many times I have spoken with young entrepreneurs and been like, hey, what's your differentiator? And they're like, customer service. And I'm like, okay, that is part of an answer. But when we're talking about differentiators, if somebody is going to respond, if 12 out of, or actually 14 out of 15 times, somebody's going to respond the same thing, that's not actually a differentiator. That is a trait or a characteristic, if you will, but not a differentiator. So you got to swing big for those guys. So I think Jennifer asked if, Joy, can you repeat the time? And then Jennifer asked if you were being recorded.
Good question on whether I'm being recorded. I don't know. Hopefully, but we'll see. They haven't really said anything. In 2:45 to 3:45 on Thursday.
Okay. And so sadly, we InnovateHER also has an event on Thursday, the 21st, but we're doing our Worth It event. We're going to be talking about wage equity, and then we're going to be having an interactive workshop with Stephen E. Smith is involved with Sophic Solutions, Kaylee Pelly with the Linda Hall Library, and Alicia McDougall with LHR Solutions. But we are going to be putting on what I hope will be an interesting conversation, and then some really tactical, actionable insights about, negotiation and knowing your worth and owning your worth. And we certainly hope you can join us. Of course, as a general rule. If you are interested in attending Global Entrepreneurship Week, Kansas City, I don't know if y'all know this, but Kansas City has the largest Global Entrepreneurship Week in the world. And it's a pretty exciting event. It's a very busy, busy week, and it is all free. And we hope you can check it out. You go to gewkc.org. And then we do, of course, recommend that you fill out your agenda on where you want to be. There are a ton of innovators who are going to be presenting. And folks, if you're watching and you're having a session, like Jennifer, I know that you have a session. Feel free
Jennifer
to drop
is
it.
also on Tuesday. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
at 1:30 on Tuesday.
Yep. So yeah, just please hope you can join us for GEW. And I do have to tell you, Global Entrepreneurship Week is always really fabulous. It's always so exhausting, but it's always so fabulous for me because I get to see the power of innovators out connecting with their community, doing what they do. And it's like, it's the most extraordinary experience to have a front seat to watch it. And I highly recommend that you folks at home give it a try. Yeah.
Here's Jennifer's session.
Oh, there you go. She got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and
so many options for GEW.
Yes, so many options, and please check it out. So we got about 4 minutes left, and I do want to mention something. InnovateHER KC has a very exciting happening that we're working on right now. And for those of you who do not know, every year InnovateHER KC puts out a gift guide. It is one of the most fun things I do. And I love curating and looking at these products and learning about these businesses, these women plus owned businesses. It's just fabulous. And so I wanted to mention that. And we do have the distinction today of having two previous includees in the IHKC gift guide. I hope y'all got a boost from that. But we have featured Hustle and Brown Boxes, and we have featured books by Cynthia Fales. Yeah. So
yeah,
we have excellent taste, is what I'm saying. But so just so you know, we did pop it over into the comments, but there is an application if you know a business that is at least 50% owned by a woman or gender minority that is based here in the Kansas City metro who might like to have a product or service featured. Certainly point them to that link. We would love to hear from you as well. But we want to put together a really fabulous list of products and services made by locals, local innovators, local women who want to get their stuff out there. And they are fabulous products. We have a variety of price points every year. And it's something that I have a blast doing and I'm really proud to do. So there you go.
Yeah, I always discover something new in the gift guide. I love it.
I always discover like 20 new things.
Thanksgiving is so late this year. Don't let the Christmas holidays sneak up on you because it's going to get wild and crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, yeah, true. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, keep an eye out for the gift guide. So I think my target in my head is we're going to go with early December because I want to manage expectations. I'm just like, wait, if you don't actually say a number, that's not a commitment. We'll see how it goes, but I'm shooting for early December.
We will be at the Mary Market every weekend between Small Business Saturday and Sunday the 21st. So awesome. I know, I'm excited. I have to show you something really quick. Okay. Whoops. There we go. This is Anna, the one who I can't get on camera.
That's who you keep talking to. Okay.
This is who I'm talking to. She's waiting for me to get done. So she
We're
can
in
get
the home stretch. We're in the home stretch, baby girl. We got you.
Oh man, she's a handful.
Yeah. Well, Joy, thank you so much for being here with us today. Cynthia, as always, you executive produce so well.
Thank you.
Very, very grateful. My friends, Cynthia, do you want to take us out?
I kind of want to see what Joy can do, but I'm not going to put that kind of pressure on her.
That's a lot of pressure.
Thank you all.
She does it so well.
The answer better.
Right. Before I toss it out the door, Joy, how can we get in contact with you and Hustle and Ground?
Oh, okay, good. Let me see. Can you put my email in, or can I put my email in?
Absolutely.
Okay, just a second. I've been so focused on talking, I haven't been watching. Okay, so the letter J, Broils at hustleandground.com. Website is hustleandground.com. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on LinkedIn, follow us on Facebook. If you need corporate gifting, we still have time for that. So reach out and we'll be able to sit down and get some gifts together. We just sent out gratitude gifts last week, which was really cool.
Yeah. Well,
Awesome.
and above all,
Very cool.
remember to take a pause with Hustle and Ground.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. Follow Joy on all the things. Get in contact with her if there is an area that aligns with your needs for your company, for your business, for you personally. I have had the opportunity to work with her to provide boxes for our Launch Crate authors, and they were all blown away. They had their socks blown off, but luckily there were socks in the box so that they could replace them on their feet. So it was really, really, really cool. And I'll be getting in contact with you again. Thank you so much, Joy, for joining us today. And thank you to all who shared 46 minutes of your time with us, whether you were watching live or on the replay. Make sure that in addition to following Joy, that you're also following IHKC on all the platforms. And with that, we'll see you in the next one. Happy holidays. Put up your tree if you celebrate early, and we'll see you in the next one.